Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my review for Project Wolf Hunting. If you've been a follower of the Ruby Tuesday for any amount of time, you'll know that I do in combination a weekly podcast, video podcast, audio podcast, and Patreon with Movies and Munchies. And one of the things, or the genres and topics that we keep coming back to is South Korean drama, movies, TV series. It's a thing that we love because generally the quality of what you get from them is always good, but they're also willing to be creative outside of the box. And for me, this is one that I was so excited to talk about it. We spoke about it briefly on our podcast, but now I'm finally getting to talk about it in my review. Non-spoilers, let's jump in. Project Wolf Hunting follows dangerous criminals on a cargo ship who are transported from the Philippines to South Korea as they unleash a sinister force after an escaped attempt leads to a riot. So the best way for me to describe this film is if you took Con Air,
put the bunny back in the box,
and you put that premise on a boat, and you obviously made it South Korean. A few of the characters that we like to watch during Halloween, and you smush them together to have a baby, and whatever that baby looks like is now on the ship. It's a sort of Terminator-ish monster film meets action extravaganza, and it's non-stop, mostly action horror. It's brilliant. It's one of those films that spends 45 minutes giving you an action film. If you ever watch From Dusk Till Dawn, if it gives you this thriller drama story,
servant of God,
and then the next half is just like balls out horror. That's kind of what this film is. The first half is great action sequences from bad guys, these prisoners that, you know, we have a leader that's tattooed from head to toe. We have each character that looks like they've taken out of a comic book webtoon, that they are characterized in the worst possible ways, like the worst of the worst bad guys. Each one, if you remember Con Air as well, kind of gives you almost like a reading card of who these characters are and what they've done, a rap sheet.
Cyrus the Virus.
Each of these characters are like that, and once they get loose, which they're obviously going to on the boat, that's when we see our detectives that are meant to be looking after them taking these prisoners from the Philippines to South Korea via ocean. Is when the action starts kicking in, and it's choreographed beautifully. It's intensely gory. Even in this first half of the film, you know, I mentioned that there's like one moment when somebody gets stabbed in the throat and gets pinned to the wall, and that's the sort of gore that you can expect to happen just within the first half. And then when it flips over to the thing that's in the bowels of the ship, we get into the horror side of the film. That's when the gore kicks into overdrive, and you're asking yourself, how much blood does a person have in a body? I know it's only a few pints, but this film is suggesting there's a lot more. It gets ridiculous in the best way. I was totally on board for it. It's also one of those films that you want to root for some of the characters to survive. In one moment you can be like, yeah, I think that person's going to survive because they have the skills, and then the film goes, nope, they don't have feet anymore. It's that sort of film. It keeps you on the edge. It has multiple facets of storylines going on. Detectives storyline, the prisoner storyline, the government conspiracy storyline. Mash that together and this is what you get. Project Wolf Hunting. I'm going to give this 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
It's too late, Albert! It's all too late, Albert! Come here!
I couldn't quite bring myself to give it a 5 because I don't know that it is a 5. Like, some films just aren't perfect or just aren't the best of the best. As an enjoyable film, this is one of the best, and it will be like in my top Korean movies that I really, really enjoy, and I will be going back to it just for the giggles of what's going on in screen. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.